Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So on this video I am going to be giving you my starting 11 prediction for our game against Chelsea at Old Trafford Saturday 5:30 kickoff. I've just recently given you my preview. So I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in this game is going to go with the 3-5-2 formation. Because to be honest with you, we do look better with three at the back. So I'm going to go with David De Gea in goal. To be fair to David De Gea, I think he has rejuvenated himself. He has done well in his last two games. David De Gea did well in the PSG game, made around 3 good saves to deny Kurzawa. Kylian Mbappe also made a good save to deny Angel Di Maria and made some good saves in the Newcastle game. And like I've said to you, De Gea is going to remain our number one for this season. David De Gea has been a long servant at Manchester United. This is his 10th season at the football club. And I know I've been critical of David De Gea before, because obviously, he's made quite a lot of mistakes in the last couple of years. But I think he's had around 7 good years at Manchester United. He has made over 400 appearances for the club in all competitions. 300 odd of those appearances have come in the Premier League. And obviously, he's won everything domestically at the football club, and he's won individual awards, reflecting on his good performances over the years. We paid, was it around £19 million for De Gea from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. When De Gea does leave Manchester United, I think he will go back to Spain. And it was only last September he signed a 4-year deal with the club worth 375 grand a week. So that makes him the highest paid goalkeeper in the world and the highest paid at the club. Right wing back, we will go with Wan-Bissaka. He will definitely keep his place in the team. I think Wan-Bissaka has done very well in his last 2 games. Did very, very well against PSG. Made some very, very good tackles. Showed some good attacking intent. He also did well in our last league game against Newcastle. Got his name on the score sheet. That was his first goal for Manchester United and it was his 50th appearance in that Newcastle game. And I think it was actually his first ever senior goal. But prior to them 2 games recently, Wan-Bissaka enjoyed a bad start to the season. This season is his 2nd season at Manchester United. Obviously, last season was his 1st season at the club. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace last summer. Now, I think we should put Tuanzebe as one of our centre-halves. I think Tuanzebe deserves another chance. Tuanzebe did play in the PSG game, and that was his first start for Manchester United in 10 months. And I like the way he kept Mbappe and Neymar quiet. Don't forget, Tuanzebe was out with injury for a while. And Solskjaer has said that he can lead Manchester United's defence and maybe he can be our captain in the future. So he must start Axel Tuanzebe. Another one of the centre-halves will probably be Victor Lindelof. I have got reservations about Victor Lindelof, as you all know. He's had a lot of bad games as a Manchester United player, but on the other side of things, he's had some good games as a Manchester United player. Victor Lindelof has enjoyed around 3 years or so now at the football club. We paid £30 million in from Benfica back in 2017. Now, Luke Shaw, will put him at left centre-half. He seems to be more effective there, to be fair. Luke Shaw wasn't too bad against PSG. I don't think he was the best, obviously. He was the one that played Martial through to get the penalty. Luke Shaw wasn't particularly bad in our last league game against Newcastle. Obviously, Newcastle's goal came from his own goal though. My element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he is injury prone. He sustained an ankle injury towards the end of last season and he was injured at the first part of last season. He's endured around 6 years or so now at Manchester United. He was our first choice left back for a while. We paid £30 million for him from Southampton back in 2014. Now, at left wing back, we will go with Alex Telles, I think. Hopefully, he can make his Premier League debut for the club. Alex Telles was very, very good on his debut recently against PSG. He made some good runs down that left-hand flank. He was good from set pieces, also put some good crosses into the box. And I'm expecting to see more from Alex Telles. We paid just over £15 million for Alex Telles from Porto, with add-ons included, and Telles signed a 4-year contract with the club with an option of a further year. Now, the two in the mid, I think, will be Paul Pogba. And then we'll either put McTominay, Fred or Matic alongside Pogba. I think we're going to put McTominay alongside Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba, to be fair to him, he did well when he came on against PSG recently. Don't forget he was the one that got the assist for Marcus Rashford's winner. And Paul Pogba also did well when he came on against Newcastle. Paul Pogba hasn't started our last 2 games. Like I said, he's come off the bench. Let's be honest, Paul Pogba hasn't enjoyed a fantastic start to the season. I'm expecting Paul Pogba to leave Manchester United next summer. The good news is that we can cash in for him next summer rather than letting go on a free, because we recently triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. So that keeps Pogba under contract with the club until June 2022. Fabrizio Romano recently confirmed this. Pogba made an admission, was it a few weeks ago now, saying that one day he wants to join Real Madrid. And last year, Paul Pogba was talking a lot about Real Madrid and Zinedine Zidane. And he said he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge. And Mundo Deportivo said the other week that Barcelona were interested in him. He's had a long-running transfer saga. There's obviously been a lot of stories of him possibly going back to Juventus. Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus. But the vast majority of his performances at Man United since he rejoined have been totally comparison to his ones at Juventus. Now, this season is Pogba's 5th season at the football club since he rejoined from Juventus. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. Pogba sustained quite a few injuries during his Man United career. For the vast majority of last season, didn't have a perception on Paul Pogba because he was out with that ankle injury. But he has sustained a few injuries, like I said, at Man United. Don't forget, Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, I think he said before the start of this season that Paul Pogba wants to stay and he will hold talks over new contracts. That was obviously during the summer. And it said a few weeks before the end of last season that Pogba was close to signing a 5-year deal with the club. Now, Pogba has made over 100 appearances for us in all competitions since he rejoined, and he's won 2 trophies at the club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup. But yeah, like I said, I do think he'll end up going to Real Madrid. Scott McTominay, I think he deserves another chance, to be honest with you. For the way he performed against PSG recently, like I mentioned, McTominay kept the ball well, he cut out passes, and he also cut out the runs, dictated the play well, and I have been critical of Scott McTominay before. Was it just after the first lockdown? McTominay signed a 5-year deal with Manchester United, so he committed his future with the club. But on the other side of things, you can say maybe Fred deserves another opportunity. You know, Fred did very, very well in the game against PSG. He lost the ball a couple of times, but prior to that did well. You know, Fred's been at the club now for a few years. He has been subjected to transfer speculation. But don't forget, Fred did say that he wanted to stay at Manchester United and he wants to be an essential player and win trophies for the club. And he's got a contract with us until 2023. But I think we'll go with Pogba and McTominay. I think ahead of them, it will be Donny van de Beek. I think we've got to give Donny van de Beek his first start, because he's not yet made his full debut for the football club. Donny van de Beek did come on the other night against PSG. I think Donny van de Beek has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. We got him in a deal worth around £40 million from Ajax. He signed a 5-year contract with the football club with an option of a further year, and Van de Beek currently wears number 34 shirt. I'm just predicting he'll start. He may not start, obviously, but Solskjaer did say that Van de Beek will start in the coming weeks. I think Solskjaer is considering where to put him because he can play in like 3 different roles, but Donny van de Beek's actually predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, isn't he? If we don't put Donny van de Beek ahead of them, we'll obviously start Bruno Fernandes. And the two up top, I think, will be Marcus Rashford and Edinson Cavani. That's obviously if Edinson Cavani is available, which he should be. Marcus Rashford really, really impressed me the other night against PSG. Obviously scored the winner for the second time in Paris and took his goal very, very well. Marcus Rashford's really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And, Rashford has been part of the club for several years. Like I said, he's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. And Rashford is a player that can get good runs in behind. His finishing's improved. He can get in good positions. So this is what I like about him. Edinson Cavani, like I said, didn't travel to Paris recently because Solskjaer said he needs a couple of more days of training. Not so long ago, had his first training session. Couldn't play against Newcastle due to COVID-19 restrictions. We got Edinson Cavani on a 3 transfer on deadline day. Edinson Cavani signed a 2-year contract with the club worth around 220 grand a week. And Edinson Cavani is our new number 7. Like I've already said to you, I think Edinson Cavani will be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. It was a shame that he couldn't play the other night against PSG, to reunite with his former club. So that's how I think Man United could line up. Harry Maguire, we don't know if he's going to be available yet. We'll know more when Solskjaer does his press conference tomorrow, won't we? Harry Maguire obviously didn't travel to Paris. He played in our last league game against Newcastle and got his name on the score sheet. It was good that Harry Maguire rejuvenated himself against Newcastle because he did enjoy a bad start to the season. But Solskjaer said he was backing Harry Maguire to bounce back from his early season troubles. Don't forget, Maguire got sent off in England's 1-0 defeat to Denmark. Also sustained a knock, and he had that incident in Greece the other month. Aaron Maguire is obviously our captain. Obviously, he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment because we got him in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester. So if Aaron Maguire's available, then obviously he should play. But we don't know if he's going to be. Same with Mason Greenwood. I'm not sure, if he's going to be available. Mason Greenwood has missed our last 2 games. Obviously, he didn't travel to Paris. Now, Solskjaer has warned Mason Greenwood over his poor timekeeping, and he's been told his discipline must improve. Now, it recently said that Mason Greenwood had a niggle. Mason Greenwood broke into our first team last season. And he's a foreseeable future for Man United. You know, Mason Greenwood is our number 11. He's the fourth Manchester United player to wear the number 11 shirt. We had a few issues with him as well before the start of this season. We do know that Eric Bailly is definitely unavailable because Solskjaer recently confirmed that Bailly is going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks with a muscle injury, and that's my element of concern about Eric Bailly. He is too injury prone. He did sustain a hamstring injury whilst he was on international duty with the Ivory Coast. Lingard, I'm not sure if he's going to be available. So there you go. We are looking for our third win in a row in all competitions because, like I said to you on the preview, we have won our last 2 games. We're beating PSG by 2-1. Second time we beat PSG in like 19 months because 19 months ago we knocked PSG out of the last 16. We're beating them by 3-1 and we did overcome a 2-goal deficit. And, you know, we recently beaten Newcastle by 4-1 in the league. So, reflecting on them 2 wins, a lot of pressure has eased off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, so far, we've played 4 games this season in the league. We've won 2 and we've lost 2. So, we've registered 6 points from 12. Last season, we played Chelsea 4 times. And Solskjaer's beaten Frank Lampard 3 times as a manager because on the opening day of last season, we beaten Chelsea by 4-0 at Old Trafford. We're beating them at Stamford Bridge 2-0 in the league. We're beating them in the Cup as well, 2-1. But we lost to Chelsea last time, didn't we? By 3-1 in the FA Cup semi-finals. So Frank Lampard has beaten Solskjaer once. Like I said to you, Chelsea are a good team. Chelsea did make good signings in the summer transfer window. They spent over £200 million. Obviously, they brought Kai Havertz in. They brought Ben Chilwell in. They brought Milan Sarr in. They brought Thiago in. They brought Mendy in. They brought Ziyech in. Well, they brought Ziyech in back in February. And they also brought Timo Werner in. Chelsea have also got some other good players in their team. They've obviously got N'Golo Kante, they've got Danny Drinkwater, they've got Jorginho. They've got that Pedro, they've got Azpilicueta. Rudiger is a very, very good centre-half for them. They've got Olivier Giroud. Chelsea have also got some good young players in their team. They've obviously got Tammy Abraham, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount, Billy Gilmour. He broke into their first team last season, didn't he, Billy Gilmour? Mason Mount, he's another youngster. They've got Christian Pulisic. I think he's done well for Chelsea since he came in. He's obviously sustained a few injuries though. So they've got some good young players. By the way, Chelsea let Willian go in the summer transfer window. He went to Arsenal on a free transfer. David Luiz, he went last year, I think, to Arsenal from Chelsea. Or was it January this year? I can't remember. Don't forget, Cech left Chelsea, didn't he, to go to Arsenal. Obviously, Cech's retired now. I think Chelsea did make a bad mistake by getting rid of Eden Hazard. He was definitely one of their best players. Eden Hazard endured 7 years with Chelsea. Frank Lampard is in his second season as Chelsea manager. I don't think Chelsea will sack him. Reflect on how long now Frank Lampard's been at Chelsea. He has gained managerial experience. It's the second club in his managerial career, because before he was at Chelsea, he was at Derby. That's where he began his managerial career. Frank Lampard was a very, very good player for Chelsea. He endured around 13 years with them. He was their all-time leading goal scorer with 211 goals. Chelsea are currently sitting 8th in the Premier League. They haven't had the best of starts to the season, and reflect on the money they spent, you thought they'd have been in a much more commanding position than they're in. Chelsea recently drew 0-0 with Sevilla. They've obviously beaten Palace this season. They've beaten Brighton. They drew West Brom 3-3, and they lost at home to Liverpool. They're not in the Carabao Cup because they got knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Tottenham. But there's been some very, very good games between Manchester United and Chelsea over the years. So there you go. Like I said to you, Anthony Martial, he's not available. He got sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham, didn't he? He shouldn't have been sent off, but he was, so he got given a 3-match suspension. He's already served 1 game, so he's got 2 games to serve in the league, and then obviously he will be back. I presume Martial will be playing against RB Leipzig, which is our next game after Chelsea. So there you go. But we've got tough games coming up. You know, we've got Chelsea on Saturday. Then obviously after them we've got RB Leipzig. That's our second game in the group stage. RB Leipzig are last season's Champions League semi-finalists. Then Arsenal, that's our next league game after Chelsea. That's going to be another tough game. Istanbul Başakşehir, they're coming up soon. That's the other team we've got in our group. And Everton, that's also coming up very, very soon, isn't it? Like I said to you, this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season as Manchester United manager. And he does deserve more time. He really, really does. Solskjaer's managed nearly 100 games now as Manchester United manager. He's won over 50 games as Manchester United manager. Obviously, we appointed Solskjaer in December 2018. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. And I said to you before the start of this season, what would represent a good season for Man United, and that would be to finish in the top 4 and also win a trophy. With a club of our size, we want to be challenging and winning trophies, and you know we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years, have we? Obviously, a few weeks ago, like I said, Solskjaer was under serious pressure, and there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in, and there was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in. Well, we were seeing Massimiliano Allegri as an alternative to Pochettino. I did say to you, didn't I, a few weeks ago, Solskjaer was in the exact same position as he was in at the first part of last season, because at the first part of last season, we endured our worst start ever to a Premier League season. At that point, Solskjaer was very close to getting sacked as Manchester United manager. But like I've said to you, I want his managerial tenure to work out, because at the end of the day, he's a club legend. He was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Ferguson's guidance. There's still some Manchester United fans that are unsure if he's the right manager for Man United, and but some Man United fans think if he's given the time that he's demanding, then he can succeed as a manager. We know that Solskjaer hasn't got a proven pedigree in that, but reflecting how long he's been at Manchester United, he has gained managerial experience. Man United is the 3rd club in his managerial career, isn't it? But I have taken positives from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure. I've got to credit him for what he did last season, because last season, which was his first full season, He exceeded most of his expectations. He got us qualification for the Champions League. Also got us third. That's the second highest we've finished since the Ferguson era. And also guided us to 3 semi-finals. We got to the FA Cup semi-final, the Europa League semi-final and the EFL Cup semi-final. Credit Solskjaer as well. He has made good signings since he got appointed in as Manchester United manager. He's brought around 10 senior players in. He's spent over £200 million. In the summer of 2019, he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and he brought Odin Igalo in on loan. And in the summer transfer window of this year, he brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Facundo Pellistri, and he brought Amad Traore in. Amad Traore will be joining the football club in January. He's also brought a few academy players in, hasn't he? You know, I like the way that Solskjaer has promoted the youth. We've seen a lot of players leave the football club as well since he got recommended in. We've also had some good periods under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. You know, went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions last season. That was the second part of last season, I think. We also went on a 14-game unbeaten run in the Premier League and did well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. So they are the positives you can take. But it seems to me, you know, when Solskjaer's under pressure, he seems to tactically get it spot on and his selections and that seem to be correct. But I've got to be honest with you, in a lot of games Solskjaer's managed at Man United, he's been very tactically naive. But there again, in a lot of the big games last season, he showed a lot of tactical flexibility. Last season, Solskjaer beat Guardiola 3 times, he beat Lampard 3 times, like I've mentioned. You know, he's beat Jose Mourinho once, obviously. So there you go. Ed Woodward has confirmed, by the way, recently that he's backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in... Well, he's done a lengthy statement on it. This is reflecting on our latest financial results. Last season, don't forget, we lost around 70 million in revenue due to the coronavirus pandemic. Obviously, our revenue was fallen by like 20%. Like it said yesterday, we've paid 20 million or almost 20 million in dividends to the Glazer family. So Glazer have taken more money out of the club. And, you know, there's a lot of Manchester United fans that are demanding the Glazers and Woodward out of the club. They've been demanding them out for a while. Solskjaer, I said, does deserve more backing because in the summer transfer window wasn't backed enough. You know, we missed out on all of our priority targets. We missed out on a lot of targets in general. We missed out on Jadon Sancho, didn't we? I think we'll go back in for him in January. We missed out on Grealish. We missed out on Reguilon. We missed out on Bale. Haaland, we missed out on him back in January, didn't we? We missed out on Jude Bellingham. Missed out on Thiago. Missed out on Kalidou Koulibaly, Nathan Ake and that. I don't think any of our managers have been backed enough since the Sir Alex Ferguson era, you know. Woodward's been at the club since 2012 and the Glazers have been at the club since 2005, you know what I mean. Just give you a bit of an update regarding the director of football. I heard that we're considering hiring Lille's sporting director and he is called Luis Campos. Now, we've been in the process of trying to get a director of football in since, like, the Jose Mourinho era, haven't we? Woodward said quite a few times we've been in the process of trying to get one. Before, there was a few former Manchester United players linked with that director's role. And I said it's one of the structural changes that we do need at the football club, you know? But yeah, in the last 7 years, Man United have been playing catch-up because obviously we've had different managers with different philosophies. We've spent close to the £1 billion range on players. and we've recruited over 30 odd players in since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. You know, and you know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. So yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.